Imagine graduating from school after 12 or 16 years of education, knowing how to solve complex math problems, analyze literature, and understand historical events, but still not knowing how to manage your own money. You know how to calculate algebra, but not how to calculate interest on a loan. You understand science experiments, but not how taxes, savings, or investments actually work in real life. This is the reality for millions of students around the world today. And it leads to one very important question. Why is financial education not taught in schools as a core subject, even though money affects every single person for their entire life? Because money is not just about earning. It is about understanding, managing, protecting, and growing it wisely over time. And without financial knowledge, even hardworking people can struggle financially for their entire lives. Let's begin with a simple truth. Everyone will deal with money in adulthood, regardless of their career, education, or background. But not everyone is taught how money actually works. Schools teach academic subjects like mathematics, science, languages, and history, which are important for intellectual development. However, many students graduate without learning basic financial life skills. Things like budgeting, saving, debt management, credit cards, taxes, inflation, and investing are rarely covered in depth. As a result, young adults often enter the real world financially unprepared. One of the biggest reasons financial education is important is because it helps prevent lifelong debt problems. Many people fall into debt simply because they do not fully understand how loans, credit cards, and interest rates work. They may borrow money without realizing how quickly interest can grow over time. A small loan can turn into a long-term financial burden if not managed properly. Financial education teaches people how to use credit responsibly instead of fearfully or impulsively. Another major benefit is learning how to save effectively. Many people earn money but struggle to save any of it because they were never taught how to build financial discipline. Without saving habits, even a good salary can disappear quickly due to unnecessary spending or lack of planning. Financial education encourages people to set goals, create budgets, and prepare for emergencies. This creates long-term financial stability instead of short-term survival. Investing is another area where financial education is extremely important. Many people believe investing is only for wealthy individuals or financial experts. In reality, investing is one of the most powerful tools for building long-term wealth. But without proper education, people often avoid investing due to fear, confusion, or misinformation. Schools could help students understand basic concepts like risk, return, diversification, and compound growth in simple ways. This knowledge can help future generations grow wealth instead of only working for income. Financial education also helps people understand inflation and how it affects everyday life. Prices of food, rent, education, and healthcare constantly increase over time. Without understanding inflation, people may think they are doing well financially while actually losing purchasing power. Learning this early helps individuals make smarter financial decisions throughout their lives. Another important reason is that financial education builds independence and confidence. Many young adults rely heavily on parents or others for financial decisions simply because they were never taught how to manage money themselves. With proper education, students can enter adulthood with confidence in budgeting, planning, and making responsible financial choices. Financial education also reduces stress and anxiety related to money. A large percentage of adult stress comes from financial problems such as debt, low savings, and poor money management. When people understand how to control their finances, they feel more secure and less anxious about the future. It also helps reduce poor spending habits influenced by social pressure. In today's world, social media constantly encourages people to buy expensive items, follow trends, and compare lifestyles. Financial education helps individuals recognize the difference between wants and needs. It teaches discipline and helps people avoid emotional or impulsive spending. Another important benefit is breaking generational cycles of poverty. Many families struggle financially not because of lack of effort, but because of lack of financial knowledge passed from one generation to another. When financial education becomes widespread, it helps entire communities improve their economic stability over time. It also prepares students for real-life challenges such as managing salaries, paying taxes, handling rent, and planning for retirement. These are essential life skills that everyone needs but few are formally taught. Some people argue that parents should teach financial education at home instead of schools. While parents do play an important role, not all families have the knowledge or time to teach proper financial skills. Schools provide a structured and equal learning environment for all students regardless of background. This ensures that every child gets access to essential financial knowledge, not just those born into financially literate families. Another argument is that financial systems are too complex to teach in schools. But basic financial education does not need to be complicated. Simple concepts like saving, budgeting, interest, debt, and investing can be taught in practical and age-appropriate ways. Even small lessons can have a huge long-term impact on financial behavior. Countries that introduce financial education early often see better financial habits among adults. People are more likely to save, avoid debt traps, and make informed financial decisions when they understand money from a young age. Financial education is not just about personal benefit either, it also strengthens the economy as a whole. When citizens manage money wisely, they are less likely to fall into debt crises and more likely to contribute to economic growth. Businesses benefit from financially aware consumers who make informed decisions. Governments benefit from a more stable and financially responsible population. So, financial education creates a positive cycle that supports everyone in society. In today's world where digital payments, credit cards, buy now, pay later systems, and online investments are everywhere, financial literacy is more important than ever. People are constantly exposed to financial decisions daily, even without realizing it. Without proper education, it becomes easy to fall into debt, overspending, or poor financial planning. Schools have always adapted to prepare students for future challenges in society. In the past, that meant teaching industrial skills or academic knowledge. Today, one of the most important life skills is financial intelligence. Because no matter what career someone chooses, money will always be a part of their life. Financial education does not guarantee wealth, but it greatly increases the chances of financial stability and success. It teaches people how to avoid mistakes that often take years to recover from. It builds discipline, patience, and long-term thinking. It helps individuals make decisions based on logic instead of emotion. And most importantly, it gives people control over their financial future instead of leaving them confused or dependent. Imagine a generation that understands budgeting before they earn their first salary. A generation that knows how credit works before using a credit card. A generation that understands investing before they start working full-time. That is the potential impact of financial education in schools. It could reduce financial stress, improve quality of life, and create smarter economic behavior globally. Because financial mistakes are often not due to laziness or ignorance in a negative sense. They are often due to lack of education and awareness. And education is the most powerful tool for solving long-term problems. In the end, financial education is not just an optional subject. It is a life skill that affects every single person from their first salary to their retirement years. Schools have the opportunity to prepare students not just for exams, but for real life. And money management is one of the most important parts of real life. Because success is not only about how much you earn, it is also about how well you manage what you earn. Financial education in schools could change that forever. It could turn confusion into clarity, stress into stability, and mistakes into smarter decisions. It is not just about teaching money. It is about teaching freedom, responsibility, and long-term thinking. And in a world where financial pressure is increasing every year, that knowledge is more valuable than ever. That is why financial education should be taught in schools, not as an extra topic, but as a fundamental part of life itself.